So this optical transport network, what we are discussing, so how to answer this particular question? Normally, one question I hope is fixed on this one. So more marks for more marks normally it will be asked. So normally you begin with the definition and with the brief structure as per G.709, as already I discussed about it in the last session. So you begin with by saying that OTN is a successor of SDH or SONET, which includes the advantages of both SDH SONET and DWDM. Then later you can go for the definition and then explain about its ITUT G.709 hierarchy for layer structure. So you have to draw this figure and explain briefly about this. So if you get a question, define and explain OTN briefly up to 4 to 5 marks. This much is sufficient. Or if you are getting explain OTN in detail with this network structure, then you have to include some other points also. You have to begin with this only, and later you have to uh, explain its basic structure. So it's a basic structure will come later. So I will tell you the flow later. Okay. So first let us continue with this present flow, that here we are defining that this OTN is going to include the benefits of both SDH and DWDM. Means these SDH and DWDM or WDM technologies have got some drawbacks, which are actually overcome by this OTN. Okay. If you look at this typical WDM transmission three-layer structure, normally it consists of service layer, that is where the end users are connected and services are delivered. Below that we have SDH or SONET layer, which is a high-speed optical layer providing the protection and restoration of the data, and is based on the TDM technique. So you can see here uh, add drop multiplexers, ADMs are there, add drop multiplexers are there, which are interconnected and operating in synchronous. Okay, so here it has shown only ADM. It may be OADM or ADM. It is a mixture. Below that you got optical layer, which consists of interconnected network between these WDM techniques. So here also high level production will be made. But if you look at the before WDM or SDH, SDH is a main building block. All of you listen here carefully. So why we are going for OTN or going to combine SDH with this WDM or DWDM? Because if you look at SDS frame structure, its main building block is PCM primary multiplex group. All the way we discussed in the case of synchronous networks that you have studied in DSS. If you take, for example, 24 or 32 channel PCM frame system, many of the time slots are occupied by the speech signal. The ratio of data to the speech is less. Moreover, we want to transmit more data rather than speech. Of course, this SDH or PDH or these PCM frame systems are reliable in the sense of providing the speed starting from 2 Mbps to 2.5 Gbps. Okay, but the ratio of data to the speech is less. Means our message information will be transmitted along with embedding with speech signal. That is not actually required. Okay, and moreover, SDH or PDH or these PCM systems are going to support the transmission of single wavelength. Therefore, we gone for this WDM, that is at the bottom layer. So that's why SDH will be used along with the WDM or DWDM technology, because it is going to support to transmit multiple wavelengths. But it has got the drawback that no fault detection and isolation will be provided more efficiently. Therefore, we'll go for dense wavelength division multiplexing, that is a DWDM technology, which is supporting speeds from 10 to 100 Gbps. But it is not going to provide the additional supports like the clock information, the particular packet is starting or ending, that indication, error checking, correction to take into account of IP traffic directly. Extended IP protocol support is not so flexibly supported by this DWDM. Therefore, some because of these issues with the SDS SONET or WDM or DWDM are justifying why we are going for this OTM. So if that is why it will make us to resolve these issues of SDS and DWDM, which are by that we are making them to stand as pillars for this OTM and making this OTM as a multi-service protocol. Means if you look at this figure, so this one it will just enlarge. So this one, it is acting like a platform here to implement any type of a protocol. It is helpful for you to implement protocol related to the video or internet or mobile or storage. So that flexibility will be given here. So after this one, continuing that one, how it is going to support the different protocols. We already discussed in detail how it is going to, it is including SDH and so on. So here what you have to do, you have to include the explanation about what you know about SDH that you learned in DS. And even I explained last two videos. PDA, how it is going to support also I have explained. It is the digital hierarchy. PDA is the asynchronous transformer and 110 gigabit Ethernet. For that you have to take the count of this figure. And it is clearly indicating how this 1 giga E, 2.5 giga E of STM16 structure, 10 giga E of STM64 structure, 10 giga E, 40 giga E, and 100 giga E structures are mapped onto the Ethernet technology, which are embedded, wrapped with the G.709 and denoted by OTU4. Okay, so you have to tell in detail how they got mapped here. For example, 1 giga E, which is being mapped. For example, is it okay? Now, 1 giga E is mapped as OTU0 with the help of two times multiplexing and is denoted by OTU1 in this G.709 OTN structure. This OTU1 is acting like 1 giga E Ethernet protocol. It is going to support connectivity, communication with 1 giga E, 1 GBE. That is provided by optical network unit 0. Similarly, optical network data unit 1 and optical network data unit 2 are employed in mapping of 2.5 GBE and 10 GBE, meaning STM16 and 64 structures, and map to OTU optical transport unit 2 and 3. So, optical transport data unit extended version, that is 2E, got used in mapping 10 GBE, 40 GBE and 100 GBE to provide OTUT 2E3 and 4, which are resembling and supporting 10 GBE and 100 GBE related Ethernet technologies. So in this way, guys, your OTN is going to support 1, 10 or 100 giga, that is Ethernet technology. The next one, okay, next one comes, why not be used for the Hello. Okay, shall we continue? We are discussing about how SDA and DWDM are acting like a pillars for OTM, and what all the things, the issues which have been resolved to make them this OTM. So later, we have gone looking at how it is going to support the implementation of this service supporting technology. So finally, summarize how the optical transport network is acting like an ideal optical network. So one thing you can see, it will allows the flexibility that to let any channel to start anywhere and end up anywhere in the optical domain. Second one, it is more simpler in structure as compared to SDH, and it is more cost effective. Because if you look at the SDH frame structure, it is very much complex. Moreover, when conversion is allowed, multiple wavelengths are supported, optimized for the carrier WDM networks, supports multiple multi-vendor networks for different domains. It is also going to reach between difficult nodes. Difficult nodes means remote nodes, or the nodes which are actually configured to provide different functionalities and transport delivery to end users. So how we have gone here? We started with the definition, that is successor to SD, and gone to the definition. Then we have seen rough four-layer structure of TN as per G.709. Briefly, we discuss about it. Then we can look at this. We are going for extending this main point. So how it is going to include the benefit of SDH and DWDM? Try to justify why we are going for OTN. That is going to justify this one. Why OTN? So up to this, include. So these three slides, this one, 2, 4, 5 slides are sufficient. Then give the sufficient elaboration why OTN. So what you have to include there, why OTN means. This graph, if you look at this one, yesterday I explained it. It is cost effective. If you look at this graph, economical graph, started the cost of for one versus in terms of BPS. Hello? Hello? If you look at this one, the graph which is including